We got a very special guest joining us right now, and a guy who is bringing some thrilling sounds to the Tampa Bay area, and that is the Florida Orchestra music conductor, Michael Francis, who is back for a reappearance here. And wherever Michael goes, we got all these TV cameras, all these video cameras.
Yes, they all follow him to dinner, to the bathroom.
They went with him into the bathroom.
Everywhere
Michael goes, it's chronicled on tape here, on video.
It's got like the life of Brian.
But I'm a very naughty boy.
Hey, welcome back here today.
Great
Since the
pleasure.
last time you were here, I had the opportunity to go watch a rehearsal. In fact, Aaron Jacobson, our producer, and I were able to go there. And we sat up in the balcony. And then we went down into the front rows and watched that thing, and that was just numbing. The orchestra is so full and so rich because you did Rachmaninoff first, and then you got into South Pacific, and I love South Pacific, and that was better than the soundtrack.
Well, in fact, anyone who hasn't seen Jack dance, you should have been there. He was bopping away. It's really fabulous music, and actually, I mean, that goes to show hearing the orchestra live.
Yeah.
is a different world to hearing it on a recording. And watching everyone's bows move together and everyone's so coordinated and playing with such passion, you don't hear that often on a recording, but seeing people live involved in that way, it's just so exciting.
That was what stunned me, that everybody knew exactly what they were doing at every moment, and they did it in unison. I mean, you'd raise your hand like this, and they would all the violinists move at the same time, or all the trumpeters or cornet players or whatever they were.
But I know, it's just a terrible power trip for a man, I tell you. You raise your hands and this fanfare comes back at you.
Do you write the score for the different sections of the orchestra?
I wish I was that talented. Unfortunately, It was sort of John Williams or Henry Mancini in that particular, and Richard and Rodgers and Hammerstein for South Pacific.
Now, I know that you're doing, obviously, the Masterwork series, but you guys are also tackling Led Zeppelin and things like that. Do you find that the crowds are different? Or are people kind of open to each experience? I
think there is some cross-pollination, but they do obviously bring different crowds, and I think that's great. I think the Led Zeppelin tends to bring a crowd with slightly greying mullets and the lighters in the air probably and things. So it does attract different crowds, but we try to really cater to everyone. And what we're seeing now, which is exciting, is that people who come to the Pops concerts are also coming to the Masterworks. And, of course, with our program for classical kids can go free to so many of these concerts. They're coming to a huge variety of music, which is wonderful.
Now, you are going to be working with a group that I have seen work so much in the past that's really fantastic, too, when it comes to choral work, and that's the Master Chorale. They're going to be doing that in November, right?
They are, in fact, this week, when they're going to be singing in Russian. A piece by Rachmaninoff called The Bells, and that's based on the writings of Edgar Allan Poe. So we'll have the words up in English as well, but that's going to be a fantastic experience.
You'll have the words up in English, I guess, on the big screen.
Exactly,
right there.
So people can follow along. But and the first piece is based on Edgar Allan Poe, so it's part of our look at America, so the influence of American literature in this case upon music. Very Gothic.
Is this the first time the Master Chorale has had to learn Russian?
I don't think they've done a lot of it, but I think they may have done something before.
Yeah, I haven't seen that done by them before, so that'll be a new experience. Yeah. But one other thing that you do, and I didn't get a chance to see at the rehearsal, is you address the crowd before the concerts, too. And
yes, I like to sort of give people a chance to go deeper into the music if they want to. So an hour before the concerts, for half an hour, I give a pre-concert talk with one of the members of staff from the orchestra. And that gives us a chance to really listen to the music deeper through examples, but also just to really talk through what the composer was thinking in a deeper, profound way. And what I can see is that these audiences are growing, so people have a sort of an insatiable appetite to know more. And it really informs people's listening in an exciting way. So I encourage people to come along. It's always lovely to have a sort of a nice impromptu, rather informal conversation about the pieces.
Now, if you can hear this, he's speaking English. Do they put translations up there when you speak?
They do. They take the T's and the D's out, so it's easy to read.
They almost have to. We were talking earlier that you're planning a big band presentation down the road, but this month you're going to be doing a tribute to Sinatra on his 100th birthday, right?
Absolutely. And I hear that's another of your favorites as well.
I love Sinatra.
South
Big
Pacific.
Sinatra fan.
Yeah. So that's going to be great with Curtis Stigers and our Pops conductor, Jeff Tyzik. So that'll be a really fantastic concert with all the classics, Fly Me to the Moon and other ones which I can't quite remember. Old Blue Eyes. That's it, isn't it?
Old Blue Eyes, that was the album.
New York, New York.
New York, New York. That's it. That's the one that's always sung at the end of parties, isn't it?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, all the way. He's got a rich,
great music.
Bunch of tunes that he has done. But how long does the orchestra have to work? I mean, what does it take to become a member of the orchestra? Is that full-time? Or how long do you have to work to get that kind of perfection?
Well, most people start as children, so it's a little bit like being a tennis player or a golfer. You kind of have to start very young.
And they're all ages in the orchestra, I might add, too, male and female. And
Absolutely. Yeah, it goes right through from the beginning to, I think our youngest musicians now are in their 20s, going right through until seasoned adults.
Now, I have a friend who actually is a member of the orchestra. His name's Fred Grotta. And are you seeing a change in the actual orchestra? I mean, are they enjoying this? It seems like it's a wild ride, from the masterworks, like I said, to Dracula.
I think they are really enjoying it. And I think what they're enjoying the most this season, I can understand, is the fact we're going out into the community. Since we're playing in the hospitals, we're playing in the malls and different things, they're really enjoying a greater sense of connection. And I can see a real pride in the orchestra, and I can feel it in their sound and in their music, and I'm just looking forward to getting back this week. I've spent about 3 weeks in Europe, so it's nice to be back now and working with them. It's going to be great
I'd
fun.
love to hear you guys in the mall with that kind of reverb and everything else. That would be something special. Well, anyway, you can get more information here by going to floridaorchestra.org. That's, spell it out, floridaorchestra.org.
Michael scared the hell out of me this morning.
How's
He walks
that?
in, he goes, "My father-in-law was at your bachelor party." I go, "Oh, please, no, stop. Go no further."
And I was there, too. The only person that wasn't there at the end was Teddy.
It was me. I was in the hospital.
John Belushi here.
Well, again, I got to say, your English is getting better.
Thank you, Jack. I am working on it.
Michael Francis, and again, you can learn when they're going to be because they come to you, Tampa, St. Petersburg, and Clearwater, Mahaffey,
Absolutely.
Ruth Eckerd, and Straz, all three places. Go to floridaorchestra.org, and Michael, we'll see you at the concert.
Looking forward to it. Thanks
Thank
so
you,
much.
Michael.
Thank you.
Great, thank you.